Urgent Philadelphia Eagles fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here we bring you daily videos with the latest Philadelphia Eagles updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Eagles fans, buckle up because today we're diving into a story that's shaking the very foundations of the NovaCare complex, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. The Philadelphia Eagles, a team known for their resilience, strategic genius, and a fan base that's fiercely loyal, are now facing a pivotal moment that could define their upcoming season. We're talking about a potential major roster shakeup, a decision that has everyone talking, and honestly, it's not every day that the Eagles find themselves in this kind of position. So, what's happening? Well, it's about one of their high-profile players, a guy who's been in the spotlight for quite some time now. Reports are surfacing that the Eagles might be making a bold move, possibly parting ways with this player, who notably comes with a hefty contract of around $51 million. Yes, you heard that right, $51 million. That's a significant investment, and it's rare to see a team consider such a drastic step, especially with a player of this caliber. It's not just about the money, though. It's about performance, fit, and the future of this franchise. Now, this isn't just speculation. Sources close to the team are indicating that the decision isn't set in stone yet, but the discussions are serious, and the pressure is mounting. You see, this player, whose name remains under wraps for now, has been under scrutiny for his recent performances. While he once was viewed as a cornerstone, a key piece in the Eagles' puzzle, recent seasons haven't quite lived up to expectations. Injuries, inconsistencies, maybe even some struggles adapting to new schemes, these are factors that have led the front office, led by the shrewd Howie Roseman, to reevaluate. And let's be honest, Roseman is known for his strategic moves, for his ability to read the NFL landscape and make tough decisions that ultimately benefit the team in the long run. But make no mistake, this isn't just a simple business decision. This is a decision that stirs emotions. Eagles fans, analysts, and pundits are all divided. Some argue that the team needs to be ruthless, that they can't afford to hold on to a player who isn't delivering at the level expected, especially with a salary that high. They say, cut your losses, free up cap space, and use that money to strengthen other areas, like the secondary, the offensive line, or maybe even bring in a veteran free agent that can make an immediate impact. Others, however, express disappointment. They remember the player's past contributions, his leadership, his potential, and they feel that letting go might be a mistake, especially considering how much effort and investment has already been poured into his development. This kind of decision is never easy, folks. It's a classic dilemma. Do you stick with the player, giving him another shot to prove himself, or do you cut your losses and look ahead? And that's where Howie Roseman's reputation comes into play. Known for his poise and strategic thinking, Roseman has pulled off some incredible roster rebuilds over the years. Remember, he's the mastermind behind bringing in big names, drafting well, and managing the cap efficiently. But, in this case, even the most experienced GMs can occasionally misjudge, and that's what some are pointing out now, what's being described as a rare misstep from Roseman. You see, the NFL is a brutally competitive league, and every decision has ripple effects. The Eagles, coming off a successful 2022 season that saw them reach the NFC Championship game, are hungry for more. They've built a roster that's talented, versatile, and hungry to contend. But with this potential move, they're signaling that sometimes, sacrifices must be made to keep the overall team structure healthy and competitive. And that's what makes this story so compelling. How does a team like Philadelphia, with its rich history and passionate fan base, navigate these difficult waters? How do they balance loyalty, performance, and financial management in a league where every dollar counts? Let's take a moment to analyze the bigger picture. The Eagles currently boast one of the most balanced teams in the NFL. Their offense, led by Jalen Hurts, has been explosive when firing on all cylinders. The running game, with players like Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown, has been a nightmare for defenses. The defense, under the guidance of coordinator Jonathan Gannon, has shown flashes of dominance, especially in the secondary and pass rush. But, of course, there's always room for improvement. The NFL is a game of inches, and every position matters. If the Eagles are seriously considering parting ways with this player, it's because they believe they can fill that gap internally or through the upcoming free agent market. Now, speaking of the player himself, it's worth mentioning that he's had an up and down journey. When he first arrived, expectations were sky high. Fans saw the potential, and the team invested heavily. Over time, though, injuries, inconsistent performances, and perhaps some strategic misalignments have cast a shadow over his impact. Still, many fans remember the highlight reels, the moments of brilliance that made him a fan favorite. It's tough to see a player like that potentially leave, especially when you consider the emotional connection fans develop over seasons of watching a player grow, struggle, and sometimes shine brightest in crucial moments. Let's not forget the impact on the locker room. Leadership isn't just about individual stats, it's about presence, influence, and the ability to elevate the team. If this move goes through, it could send a message to the locker room that no one's job is safe, no matter how much money they make or how long they've been with the team. That's a double-edged sword. On one hand, it might motivate players to elevate their game, but on the other, it could create uncertainty or even unrest within the squad. The Eagles' leadership will need to handle this carefully, communicate clearly, and ensure that everyone understands that the ultimate goal is to build a team capable of contending for a Super Bowl. And of course, we have to consider the fans. Philadelphia fans are some of the most passionate and demanding in the NFL. They have high expectations, and they love their team fiercely. They've seen their share of highs and lows over the decades, Super Bowl victories, heartbreaks, rebuilds, and glorious comebacks. So, this potential roster move is going to ignite debates across social media, fan forums, and sports talk shows. Some will support the bold decision, trusting the front office's judgment. Others will argue that loyalty and patience should prevail, especially with a player who has contributed significantly in the past. Now, looking ahead, what does this mean for the Eagles season? Well, if they do decide to part ways with this player, they'll need to find a way to fill that void quickly. Whether through internal development, draft picks, or free agency, the team will be tested. The next few weeks will be critical, as roster decisions often come down to last-minute negotiations, medical evaluations, and strategic planning. The Eagles are no strangers to making bold moves. Remember the Chip Kelly era, or how they rebuilt after their Super Bowl loss in 2018? This current situation could be another chapter in that ongoing story of resilience and strategic adaptation. And let's not forget the broader NFL landscape. This kind of move, if it happens, will be watched closely by other teams. It's a reminder that even the most well-managed franchises are always looking for ways to improve, to adapt, and to stay ahead of the competition. The Eagles, under Howie Roseman's leadership, have often been praised for their cap management and roster flexibility. But no team is immune to misjudgments, and this could be a learning moment, either reinforcing Roseman's reputation as a master strategist or highlighting the risks of high-stakes decisions. As we wait for more details, because, let's be honest, in the NFL, things can change rapidly, fans are already speculating, debating, and sharing their opinions. Some believe that the Eagles should hold on to their player and try to work out his issues, maybe with a change in scheme or coaching support. Others argue that it's time to cut ties and look to the future, to rebuild and retool, especially with the draft coming up and the free agent market opening soon. Whatever happens, one thing's for sure, this story is far from over, and the Eagles are at a crossroads that could shape their trajectory for the next few seasons. In the end, what matters most is that the Eagles remain true to their core philosophy, building a team that can compete at the highest level, with a mix of talented veterans and promising young players. The franchise has shown resilience before, bouncing back from tough losses and rebuilding stronger each time. And even in moments of uncertainty like this, the Eagles' dedicated fan base, their front office, and their players will rally together, pushing forward with the hope of bringing another Super Bowl home. Now, as we keep an eye on what unfolds in the coming days, remember that the NFL is a league of surprises. Decisions like these aren't just about one player or one season, they're about the legacy of a franchise, the dreams of a city, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. So, stay tuned, Eagles fans. We'll be here, breaking down every twist, every turn, and every piece of news that comes out of Philadelphia. Because that's what we do, bring you the best, most detailed coverage of your beloved Eagles. And let's be honest, no matter what happens, the passion, the pride, and the spirit of Philadelphia will never fade. That's what makes this team so special, and that's what keeps us all coming back for more. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Philadelphia Eagles news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all of this? Do you think the team should hold on to this player and give him another shot? Or do you believe it's time to cut ties and look to the future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really does matter so much to us and to the Eagles. We love to hear your perspectives, your predictions, and your hopes for this team. Remember, this is a fan-driven community, and your voice counts. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, deeper analysis, and all the latest news from the NovaCare complex. The Eagles are always in the news, always evolving, and as fans, we're right there with them, cheering, debating, and dreaming of that next Super Bowl victory. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, fly Eagles fly.